Hello! I'm not sure you can hear me. If any of you saw my last one, then you know I'm rubbish with technology, so I'm going to give it a sec. I can't remember how to get my comments on. I am horrendous. Just confirm that you can hear me loud and clear, please, folks, and then I'll start waffling, because I do like to waffle. I can see there's a few of you joining, but I can't see any comments. Where do I get my comments? Is it one of them? Here we go! So everyone's waving. Yes! So that must mean I don't want to press any more on my phone. Oh no, the comments are gone. Ba-ding! They're there again. Big Phil Reynolds, here we go. Yes, hear me loud and clear. Go on, Ben. Right, I can start waffling, folks. So, yeah, we've been doing a few of these now. Obviously, lockdown. It's easing up a lot now. We're back fishing. Fantastic news. You know, obviously matches have started. And yeah, it's really good to be out. First up though, can I say thank you very much to Clive Branson for inviting me onto the match fishing web chat. It's fantastic. Thank you very much, mate. I love doing these, and hopefully, you know, I can continue to do a few. Obviously, if anybody's been watching some of the winning ways with myself, Jamie and Rich, then you know, it's amazing. We love doing them. Obviously, we love doing the videos for all you guys, and we do generally have a right laugh. So, yeah, we'll probably carry on with a few of them live ones. I can see all my messages coming through. Love you a lot. Thank you so much. So I'm going to waffle for probably 5, 10, maybe a little bit longer, and then I'll start answering some questions. So, first up, I want to go through how I first got into fishing, basically. I do apologise if you've heard this before. I have probably told this story thousands of times, but I think it's so important now. Obviously, people are still, you know, a little bit off work, and you know, kids wanting to go fishing. So there's not a better time now than to take your kids fishing. So, and that's when I started. I started sort of when I was 3-year-old, I suppose. Daddy May, Steve May, took me when I was 3. No commercials obviously back then, folks. So it's proper hard natural venues where you'd wait like 3 weeks for a bite. Places like, you know, canals, Rochdale Canal, Peak Forest Canal. I hate canals. You know, Ogden Reservoir, that's another one. And then a little bit later on, it was River Weaver, River Dane. Did a little bit of trout fishing, spinning, you know, sort of in the close season when we couldn't go. Because, like, this lockdown, it's been like the proper close season, hasn't it? And the fish gone nuts when we've gone back to it. So it just shows you know what I mean? Let nature take its balance. Waffling, aren't I? So let me have a drink, folks. Hang on. So yeah, so I started off when I was 3, going on all them sort of natural venues. Fished my first junior match when I was 6 years old on a local water to me where I am now in Middlewich called Holt's Pool. I caught a tench and a roach, and I come second, and I got a little tiny trophy, and I think I got a voucher for Dave's in Middlewich, the bestest tackle shop in the world, for something like £2.50. I got a voucher to spend for £2.50. I was absolutely made up, and it just stemmed from there. Obviously, my dad started me off at an early age. It's just all I wanted to do. You know, club-wise, fishing with the junior nationals and what have you. So, Middlewich, Joint Anglers, Congleton, Lim, Northwich, Stapley Whites, did really well with Stapley White. And then when I got, I suppose, to sort of 12, 13, or maybe a little bit younger, I don't know, 12 or 13, fantastic bloke called Chris Durant, as in current, but with a D. He formed the very successful Van den Eyde Northern Select Youth Team, which later went on to be Team Wizzo. And we did really well, you know. We fished winter leagues at the likes of Pilsworth. We went to what's that place in West Midlands? Broadacres. I can't believe I remembered that. Where's that come from? Went to Broadacres. We cleaned up there. We fished Morelands Farm. Obviously, that was probably one of the first commercials that I ever fished when I was like 12 or 13. Did not have a clue what I was doing, folks. I was fishing like bloodworm rigs for carp. Say what? I literally did not have one clue whatsoever. But yeah, it just sort of stemmed from there. You know, did all right at junior level, youth level. Came second in the junior national on the Trent and Misery Canal in Derby, I think it was. That was fishing for Stapley White. I think we came, I don't know if we won it or came second as a team as well. We did all right as a team. So Next, it was England trials for me. I think I had my first one. I was 13 or 14. It was at Willow Park, and I did not have a clue what I was doing with Bloodworm and Joker. I fished it a few times, but on Pillsworth Bottom Ponds, you put in like tiny little blobs in like marble size, and you're catching like these little waspy perch over it and things like that. So it was all right at that. But Willow Park, I just like got given all this Joker and Bloodworm. I'm like, don't know what to do with it. So made a big jaffer out of this Joker, lobbed it in, and I caught some massive perch and like 2 tench, but didn't have a clue. Roy Jeff was his manager then, and he didn't pick me. To be fair, I wouldn't have picked me. I didn't have a clue, as I say. But that was good. And then a few years later, it was when I was 16, I was fishing the Youth Classic at Morelands Farm. We used to have it was Vandenard, then it was Wizzo Youth Classic after, at Morelands Farm. So there's like all the best youth anglers in the country came and fished it, and it was awesome. I was on Meadowpool, not one of the good pegs, down the bottom end. I never draw well. Sort of like, I think 30s, low 30s, mid 30s or something. And Mark Downs actually came down round that day, and he stood behind me for a bit, because Mark had taken over from Roy a few years ago. And he stood behind me for a bit, and he was like asking me a few questions and this, that and the other. And I was like, Mark Downs, England youth manager. And luckily, for what I'm about to tell you, he got to have a good glimpse of, you know, sort of what my temperament was like as an angler then. I was fishing Wagler, which was where the World Championships was the following year in Portugal. That's what they wanted to see, but obviously I've just got an all intention just to try and catch some fish in this youth match. Anyway, I'm waffling. I love waffling. So fast forward to the next year and the trial at Gold Valley. Now, bearing in mind the World Championships was to be held on the Rio de Soraya in Carouche in Portugal. So it was all sort of like sticky mag, you know, big wagglers, sort of 10, 12, 14 gram wagglers. I mean, the Portuguese and the Spanish, they had it proper sus. They had like a little bit of elastic between like the float and the line, I think. I looked at it, like, looked dead good, but we didn't do any of that. We just had these big sort of like, I think they were Daiwa wagglers, like slider things, with massive big floats. Anyway, so it was like balls of sticky mag with like some gravel in on that, but then it was my personal favourite style of fishing, sort of like down the middle, if you like. Now, down the middle was sort of like 30 metres away, which was hemp and maggots through a catapult in fishing through the water. Fishing for like little barbel, I think there was sunfish or pumpkin seed fish, and like the odd carp, odd mullet as well. And it was awesome fishing. And yeah, so I didn't do any good in the trial. I just got it completely wrong. I put completely the wrong main line on. I went for what a lot of anglers do now on my coaching days. I went for the strength in pounds as opposed to the diameter, and it was high-tech hook length, and it was like 0.14 but like 7 pounds or something. I can't remember the name of the lines. Right back in there when I had strawberry blonde hair and everything. And I put it on, I was just like cracking off. I had Michael Sanders next to me on my left, and he was like smashing me to bits. He's had like 12 carp. I've probably the same, but I've only like managed to land 2. So unfortunately I didn't get picked. But then 2 weeks later, Mark Downs rang Daddy May, and then obviously my dad like, yeah, Andy, Mark Downs wants to pick you, you're going to go. And you know, after that, yeah, so went over to Portugal. It was amazing. Took 7 of us, normally it's only 6, and 5 fished. And it was brilliant. I won my section on the first day. During them peg, didn't I? Caught a great big carp, didn't I? And then I had some like barbel and that. And then the second day, caught loads of barbel on my favourite method, through the water on a little tiny waggler. And I've come second in my section to a German. Now, bearing in mind, folks, that year is when Germany beat us in 1996 at where is it? Was it Wembley when they beat us? When they beat us on penalties, and Gaza just missed it. Oh! So I said, right, come on, I've got to get my own back on the Germans, but no. So I got beat by 20 grams for an individual goal. So I got silver medal, and we did amazing as a team. Obviously, it's a proper team event, that's what it's all about. We come third, we got bronze, so we all went and jumped in and had a few laps of the Rio de Soraya. And then the next year, it was in Croatia. It was on the River Drava in Zagreb in Croatia. And that river is just absolutely ridiculous. It's sort of like 1,000,000 foot deep, and you know, flowing so fast it's like the Severn in flood or something. It's just ridiculous, and we'd never seen flat floats then. So it was a pole. I ain't got any in my room here. It was the poles that like absolutely devastated that event. I think they had a section winners like every day. They're using like this great big sort of like saucepan type style floats with like great big antennas on. It was just sort of like inching them through, and we were like body floats on. Ba-doing! No chance. So didn't do any good in that. But you know, after that, obviously, Kamasan. You know, I bore people to death about the Kamasan, but for me, it was an awesome competition in its day. I wish it was still going, and that's what really set me off on, you know, basically to where we are now. Managed to win that a couple of times. I don't know if I've told you, Matt. I mentioned it once or twice. And then when I think it was 20, I've been coaching for 14 years now, so I finished in the bank when I was 27. So I'm 41 now. Do the maths, quick maths, isn't it? I know my maths. And yeah, it's just all I've ever wanted to do. Basically, I've never wanted to do anything else. All I've wanted to do is just go fishing, and you know, for it to make me living out of my hobby, because it's still my hobby. Obviously, if you watch any of our videos, you'll see that I just absolutely love fishing. I can't get enough of it. You know, it's like me and Jay doing these videos, like us being kids again, basically. You know, so obviously massive thanks to my sponsors, Map and Dynamite Baits, and obviously bestest tackle shop in the world, David and Millowitz. You know, without you guys, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. So, yeah, it's just been fantastic. Long may it continue. Right, so I think I'll get on with the questions. I'm not seeing many questions coming through, but I've written one down. I'm getting a lot of people like watching and like waving symbols, but can someone tell me where the questions are? And then I'll read this one out that I've had first, which was a text. Oh, here we go. Hey, the questions! Oh, it's gone. I can stop it though. Roll back down. Yes, Jason Smallwood. I'm going to do yours first. Andy, I'm a newbie to using side pullers. I saw you land a carp about 7 or 8 pounds in about 2 minutes. Stop it, mate. 20 seconds. In your blackjack challenge against Jamie. I've been trying this with carp that are only 3 to 5 pound. Keep pulling the hook. What am I doing wrong? More often than not, I know we like to pull hard, but there's ways and means with it. You can get away with it with a light elastic. If your elastic's too heavy, you are going to be ripping out of them. Other than that, possibly foul hooking the fish, or they're just not having it right. You know, you might be hooking them on the outside of the mouth. Fishing big hooks as well. I love fishing big hooks this time of year when you can get away with it. You know, Guru Kaizans or Gamakatsu Power Carp, something like a 14. You know, not really any smaller than that. When you have to like big carp, you can really get away with fishing big hooks for them. I love it. It's proper. Right, so that one's stopped. So if I could do that, will it carry on going? Matt Malin, go on. No, you're the legend, mate. Love you. Right, I'm going to do this one. This is from, I apologise if I'm getting your name wrong, Demas Mark Smearden. Apologise, mate. I'm sorry. So, if you had one choice of hard 8mm pellet to choose, what would it be? And I assume you mean whether it's coppins or screttings. Now, mate, I'm sorry. You can't ask me to choose one. I know you have, but you can't. How dare you? Basically, because screttings and coppins, they both have the days. Coppins are a lot heavier, so if it's really windy or you want to get that little bit further, obviously that's when you go into a coppins. And they take a lot longer to break down. So personally, I'd be putting a coppins on the band, you know, for like repeating casting and this, that and the other. Just lasts a lot longer. Screttings are good when, you know, it's a bit calm and not as windy, and you want that fast breakdown, basically. You know, if each cast, say you're on a bomb or something like that, you want it to be 5 minutes. You know, within 5 minutes at this time of year and the water's warm, that pellet will start to break down. I think that's what you mean. Apologies if not. Just get back to us on here, mate. Other than that, you know, colours-wise, it's personal preference. Basically, just use them straight out of the bag. I'll put some Dynamite Baits, F1 Sweet on them. Love that stuff. Whether it makes a difference or not is irrelevant. If you think it does, then it's up there. Then it's going to make a difference for you. Red pellets, though, I've got to stress red pellets, folks. They do make a difference for me. Not in so much of like an 8mm pellet, but obviously, yeah, try it. But like a 4 and a 6mm pellet. It's ridiculous. I don't want to give all my secrets away, but when you're feeding them casters, put a red pellet on. Shh, don't tell anyone I told you, especially not Jamie. Right, here we go. Stu James, can you do a video at some point how you... Me, myself, do 2 and... No, absolutely no chance, Stu. I think I've still got loads of, like, punctures in my fingers there. I don't know if you can see that, folks. Like, punctures everywhere. I'm just showing you my finger, really, aren't I? But, no, it's so hard. Basically, 3 inches is not too bad, but 2 inch, I'll get Jamie to show you that, because I aren't doing it. It's too hard. Right, Rob Elvis Bergs, how are you, mate? Matt Godfrey, how are you, pal? Lee Butler, go on, mate. Do you rate Kevin Hill? Do I rate Kevin Hill? Of course I do. I learnt so much off Kev Hill back in the day. I've not seen him for years. You know, the likes of Kev Hill and Derek Willen, Bradders, John Bradshaw, Mickey Barlow, come on, Mark Harris, Desi Southern, bless him, Mark van der Kamp. Oh, there's loads. That Census Garblino or Alderson's Groundbait lot. Oh my word, I learnt so much off them back in the day, especially on, well, all kinds of venues, but natural venues in particular, and obviously in commercials. In fact, the first time I ever met Kev was at Morelands Farm when we were practicing for the Morelands or Wizzo or Van den Eyde Youth Classic, whenever it was, right back in the day. I was probably 13 or 14, and we went, me and I think it was Lewis Breeze went and sat behind Kev because he was destroying the venue at the time, along with like Gary Skerritt and that on Chop Worm and all this, that and the other, and Chappie and Pimmy and everything like that. So there's some proper legends. I could just go on and on with these names, to be fair. But yeah, Kev learnt loads off him, and like such an approachable fella. Where have you gone, mate? I've not seen you for ages. Come on, Kev. Proper badge, by the way, Lee. Oldham Athletic, you know the schnizzle, mate. Best team in the world, isn't it? Sam Lloyd, if you could only fish one natural venue for the rest of your life, where would it be? I've got to say Riverdale, mate. Obviously, it brings back so many memories, and I've told this story thousands of times, so I do apologise, but I'm going to say it again. It brings back so many memories of me going with my dad from, like, basically when I was 3 years old. It's just, what a river. I mean, Daddy Maid set me up, like, one section of rod with a bit of line on, and I'd just be, like, basically paddling, catching, like, little minnows and gudgeon, and, like, I might get the odd chublet and little dace and that. And then my dad would be, like, with his waders on, sort of like over your knees and everything, and just trotting the stick float down with maggots and casters or big lump of spam or some bread or something or a big worm, and he'd be catching this great big daddy chub, and he'd call me over and be like, yes, he's got one. So I'd go and net it for him, and I'd just like admire this chub for ages. I didn't want to let him go. And then the best thing about chub, when you let him go dead slow, they sort of like sneak off. And then when you got to stand up, they just go, whoosh, and then they're gone. It's just, oh, I love it. So yeah, Riverdale. Waffling, aren't I, folks? I do apologise. Right, Steve, do you think Mars bars should be bigger? Mate! Side profile. I don't eat Mars bars anymore, Steve. How dare you? I do, actually. Mars bars and Snickers. But yeah, they should definitely be bigger. It's like, the packet's like that big, but then the Mars bar inside's that big. What's all that about? It's just not right, is it? Not like Be Rare. Right. Wayne Dalton, how are you, mate? Gary Hatton, how are you, pal? Dave Armstrong, just said hello to you, Steve. Not again. Rob Hodgson, Ian Christopher, how are you doing? Fine, thank you, mate. Snickers or marathon? It's got to be marathon, mate. Obviously, there were marathons back in the day when we were growing up, weren't they? Got to go back to marathon, surely. Martin Fothergill, how are you, mate? Danny Hopkins, Tracy Ball. Love me Bobby Hats. Thank you so much, Trace. Not really Bobby Hat weather now, though. Moose! Oh, shot call. You know the monkey. Cole, I've not seen you for ages, mate. I want to come see you. We're having a barbecue soon. Got to have a barbecue soon. Please. Invite, please. I'll give you a... In fact, I've not given you a mention, have I? Cole, I do apologise. So, Colin Mercer was the chap who set up lastcast.com back in the day. Proper legend, along with his brother, Big Pete. Eyes are like 12 foot tall, folks. He's massive. Yeah, proper bunch of lads. We did really well in the Nationals. Darren Miller actually won individual gold on, I don't know where it was, folks, but he won anyway, and he got loads and loads of beer tokens. I did all right on the Trent on one of them. I think it was like 8th or 10th individual, catching barbels, and yeah, just an awesome team to be part of. Cole, legend. Shot Cole. Right, Mark Godfrey. When did you lose the ginger locks, pal? I've still got them slightly, mate, but I've just admitted defeat. You know, get the Bix on it. I suppose 17. To be fair, I'm glad they're gone. You know what I mean? Upside down head now, innit? You know what I mean? How's it going, legend? Oh, come on, not a legend, mate. Just like to have a laugh. Doing fine, thank you. Right, here we go. Oh, they're going on their own now, folks. Yes, like it. Right. Michael Ross Taylor, how deep do you fish on the Wagler rod? Mate, it depends. Obviously, if them fish are shallow, then you've got to fish through the water for them. Obviously, this time of year, it'd be very rare, unless the venue's only shallow, that you'd want to put any weights whatsoever down the line. So if it was natural wagglers, for example, on a typical 6-foot lake, you'd fish it probably 3 to 4 foot an hour, depending on the conditions. 3 number 11s or 3 number 10s, depending on obviously the wind. But then obviously get ready to come a lot shallower and change your float to a lot smaller. I used to use a lot of the little Drennan insert wagglers, the loaded Drennan inserts, but this last sort of 18 months, honestly, Kev Leach wagglers, you've got to give them a go. They're amazing for your traditional waggler fishing. For pellet waggler fishing, Keith Easton. What wagglers you make, mate? Honestly, they're awesome. So again, for like pellet waggler, you know, likes of Hayfield or somewhere like that, or Special Lake at Larford, anywhere, you know, start at 3 foot and see what's happening, folks. Honestly, if you're getting bites and missing them, obviously that's telling you they're shallower. If you're foul hooking them, they're shallower. If you're not getting bites, just go a little bit deeper. You've got to be careful. You don't really go any deeper than 5 foot, not on a little pellet waggler I'm on about now, because it can fly through the air funny and tangle you. You need to go on like a bigger, longer waggler for them. I could waffle all day about wagglers, but there's a few questions coming through. So yeah, just obviously depending on where the fish are, that's where you want to fish. Right, I keep getting the same questions. Do you rate Kevin Hill? Love Kev Hill. Legend. Right, Michael Ross Taylor. What do you think to the Preston Carp 16 metre, not the new XS version? Michael, honestly, mate, I don't know. Obviously, I'm with MAP, but as a coach, I get to use a hell of a lot of poles, and there's so many good, decent poles out there, you know, sort of like 13 metres for really good money. So the best thing I can recommend you do is go to a tackle shop and just try them all out. Obviously, all these tackle shops now, they all have a pole alley, so go and try them out there first. I'm sorry, mate, I can't be any more help than that. Mapping it. Right, shot Cole. Shot Andy. Darren Warwork and Mikey Warwork, how are you doing, boys? I've not seen you for a while. Right, Ben Riley, do you think Fishermania will go ahead? Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, I don't. I don't think it's been properly scrutinised at the minute. Obviously, the qualifiers are going ahead. I've got my first one this Saturday at Partridge. You know, the draw's getting done at 4 PM the night before. Straight to your peg. Yeah, fantastic. I can't see it not happening, to be honest. It'll be a bit funny, you know, with not the crowds not being there. But there's a revised date for, I think, the 29th of August now. So, you know, all being well, touch wood. Obviously the deaths start decreasing, everything like they are doing, then, yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but I think it'll go ahead, mate. Paul Chaffee, how are you, mate? Matty O. Holmes, how are you, pal? Ian Hinks, how are you, mate? What is better, a banded pellet or a hookable? You'd have a drink for that question, mate. So, it's warm in here. Right, it's a banded pellet. For all my hair rigging, Ian, I'll always use a banded pellet. Now, what I'll never do is put the hook straight into a band. So, like, you get your pellet and put your little band around it, hook that. No, it's got to be on a hair rig. I mean, there's loads of them, sort of like hooks to nylon now. Guru, the ones, to be fair, I use them, mate. I don't think there's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. They're really good. Hookable pellets. So, the trouble with hookable pellets, sometimes they can tend to crumble a bit. Obviously, some are better than others. Expanders are better in my opinion, but if you're having trouble that you're shipping out a long way and they're falling off, then obviously that's where hookable pellets come in. And for me, you can't beat the durables. The dynamite durables, you can like swing them around, you can whack them as far as you can on a waggler and they don't come off. Get on them, mate. Right, getting some questions coming up now. I'm going to stop him. Ian Christopher, and oh, it's gone. Sorry, mate. I don't know what's happening now. Matt Vanessa Price, who's better, Jamie or Will Raisin? How dare you? You can't ask me that. Right, so Jay, I'm sorry, mate, but Will is like, for me, he's best ever. But you're best ever as well, Jamie. For everything, obviously Jamie can do everything. But for everything, Will Raisin, just like no one to compare. I mean, obviously, Alan Scott Alden's done it all. Tommy Pickering, Bob Nord, Big Kev, Padoish. There's loads of them. Dennis White, Stevie Gardner. There's so many anglers, but Will Raisin for doing everything just ridiculous. Makes me sick, just like Jamie and Andy Bennett. Make me sick. Right, Here we go. Mark Shaw, have you put your plummets into hibernation? Plummets? No, I don't know what that. I've not heard of plummets. Don't know what that means. Chris Lane, Nigel Wild, Nick Owen. Nick Owen, best angling competition in the last 5 years and why? Top man Andy, best angling. Oh, what has been the best angling competition in the last 5 years? I love Fishermania. I think it's amazing. There's not a competition like that. I mean, obviously, maybe Match This and the Golden Reel, Dirty Great Big Checks, but Fishermania and the fact that it's live, I think it's an immense competition. Yeah, so fish off for me. Foggy Swamper, mate, come down the West Country and fish some of our fisheries. Proper wobbly carbs. Oh, mate, I'd love to. Can I have, like, cider? What's that cider we used to have at Whiteacres? Rattler. Can I have some Rattler and Cornish pasties and everything? I'd love to, mate. It's just getting time. Obviously, I'm proper snarled up this year because of the bookings that I've had to sort of, like, rebook for later on in the year, and you know, Winning Ways, you know, myself, Jamie and Rich, we're heavily involved with, you know, got loads of dates planned for that, so it's just finding the time to do it basically. But I'd love to come down and sample the cider and the pasties. Right, Ash Tolley, away mate. Gary Pickersgill, away pal. Craig Wood, Stu Lucas, Matthew Elson, Paul Hardy, away mate. Billy Elliott, go on Steve Openshaw, legend mate, ain't ya? I bet you're going to smash it tomorrow. You've got to be on Partridge tomorrow, ain't you? Going to smash it, ain't you? Casters like that. Casters like that. Casters like that. Oh, I've got one on. Right. Michael Ross Taylor. Fishing a match on Bradshaw's Lake 4 on the 14th. The best way to start my swim, would you... Of course I'd start shallow. Actually, I don't know. Lake 4, that's the big one, isn't it? That's quite deep. I don't know, I'd look short first on the bottom and see what's happening, but ping, I don't know what fish are in there anymore. When I fished it, mate, it was always like winter time, sort of, probably 10 years ago now, and it was like roach and skimmers and that. There used to be loads of carp in, but you never really caught them in the winter. Excuse me. So I'd start off short. I know there's a load of hiding now, but start off short on pellets if there's carp in. But then feed sort of like 11 to 13 metres with casters or something like that, or casters, and then just wait for the swirls, mate. But in this weather, I can't not see him coming shallow. Proper. How you doing, mate? That's from Danny Cooper. Mate, I'm good. Got a beer, innit? Got a gear. Got a gear. Got a beer. Hop house. We're all good. Lee Warren, Stephen Kachaski, away mate. Best catty for keeping loose feed tight. Mate, I just love the Drennan ones. The thick latex. They used to be red. I think they're blue and black now. No catapults are designed to last the test of time. The elastics always seem to break on them pretty quick. But the Drennans for me, I pretty much don't use anything else. Yeah, brilliant. Drennan. The little tiny fine ones are good for, like, I never used to do it, but like snake lake fishing, I've always sort of like give it one of them. You know, when you're fishing sort of like 6-7 metres, you're like, I aren't using a catapult at that distance. Even if it was like proper blowing a gale, I'm like, you're going to get out there, you're going to get out there. But recently, 2 years ago, Jay and Bagger have like, you've got to get on a catapult. And it's so true, folks. Get on a catapult. It calms you down with obviously how often you feed. I mean, I'm a nightmare feeding. It's like going all over the place. Come on, bring your right hand into play. Go and get your mate over. Get him to feed for you. So it just enables you to calm down that little bit more and sort of like group the fish where you want to. Because I'm a proper windmill. So get on the little tiny latex ones for snake lakes fishing, and then the thicker latex ones for everything else. And that's it. Done. Right. Mark Elliott, Ian Jones, Kieran Marsden. Away, mate. Another draw bag. Right, Neville Pantin, Phil Harris, Wayne Dalton. Andy, do you have any photos of the England trials we fished at Gold Valley Lakes back in the 90s? Mate, I have. I've got the one. I was in sort of like a massive Vandenide jacket where I've caught like me 3 perch in a tent, which I told the story of when I first started, before, when I put that massive ball of joker in. I'll find it later and send it to you, mate. Badoish! Stu Lucas, how about you and Jamie having a Stu, you've seen me feed 30 maggots that'll last approximately 2 seconds. So I think Jamie'd win that one. But I like that. We've got a right good one for our next one. Obviously, we've been following our challenges. We have a right laugh. But our next one, proper, get ready. Matt Harrison, away mate. Have I come to the end? No, I've not come to the end. Martin Utley, away mate. Chris Wilson, hello. Mark Rowley, do you prefer natural venues or commercials? Oh, Mark, I absolutely love my natural venues, but for all my fishing, certainly big money competitions and my coaching, it's pretty much all commercials. But in my heart, yeah, natural. I just love natural venues. It's just the wild, isn't it? It's the not knowing, especially from like on the rivers and what have you, especially my local day, and it's amazing, man. So yeah, naturals, mate, naturals, isn't it? Andy Lightbound, away, pal. Kevin Pope, Gary Shipwright, how are you, mate? Archie Moore, Ian Hinks, what is better, bandy pellet? Have I done that one? I've done that one. I'm coming back to the questions again. Do you have any rigs deeper than 2 foot? Mark Shaw, not a chance, mate. Not for this time of year. It's one of them. It's to me, it's where the fish want to be. They don't really want to be in that sort of deep, cold water when it's like this. Obviously, you know, I'll fish a little bit deeper. I'll borrow some line off Jamie Summit, maybe borrow a plummet. But I suppose generally, if it's sort of like 4, no deeper than 5 foot, that water temperature is the same all the way through when it's like this. So yeah, you'll catch on the bottom, you're catching that. But I've talked about it loads on my videos. It's so efficient catching fish shallow. The shallower you can get them, the more you can get them competing, the bigger weight you're going to do. It's amazing. I love it. But I've got a proper hurt my arm. I don't know what's up with it, folks. Someone said the other day it might be tennis elbow. What do you reckon? I need some advice. It's like, it hurts when I sleep. And like thinking back, it's been hurting for like probably 2 or 3 years. But you just sort of like fight through the pain barrier. But it's sort of like all up here. I don't know what's up with it. Right, when you grip something like, it proper hurts. Come on, folks. I need some advice. Craig Robert Watkis. Grew up with you fishing mainly natural venues, seeing you in the magazines. Do you miss it? Oh, hey, Craig. Yes, I do miss it, mate. Of course I do. That's one of the reasons I live where I do. Obviously, in Middlewich, we've got loads of natural venues on there, especially my favourite River Dane, and I just absolutely love them. But yeah, I mean, obviously I could choose to fish the natural venues, but for me and my fishing at the minute, commercials is where it's at, because that's where the big money's at, and that's where a lot of my coaching's from. I do get a lot of coaching, you know, sort of like over the winter time for the rivers and the canals and lakes and what have you, but nothing compared to what it is in the summer on the commercials, mate. So, Ken Taylor, Mark Winfield, Chris Kitchen. Go on, Chris. How are you doing, mate? You're another drawbag, ain't you? Dave Hunn, yes! Ledger Bomb man, ain't you? Where are you hoping to draw on Saturday at Partridge for the Quiffshot qualifiers? I'd love to draw next to you, mate, because I'd like to have a spare peg, because you like fish on the wrong side and everything, didn't you? Sorry, mate. I don't know, joking apart, I wrote about this the other day for Bar at Partridge. Anywhere on Covey 5, it just seems to throw up all the time. I may or may not have qualified last year on there, and I may or may not have qualified and went on to win the fish show from there. And it just like Bagger qualified off that one as well last year. So Power qualified off well, I think, like last year or the year before. So it's one of them, Covey 5, I think. Peg 2 on Spado, that's another peg. There's so many, Dave, as you know. Partridge is just what a fishery it is. It's one of the best in the old world, never mind the country. So you've just got to get the wind right thing. That's the main thing. But the fish are having it. Obviously, they've been spawning all week with how hot it's been, so it should be bang on for Saturday. Should be very nice. Lots of casters being thrown in. James Graham, favourite drink, Andy? Mate, right, so I'm going to be a bit controversial here. I've got quite a few. So beer-wise, I'd have to say a nice ice-cold Heineken or Peroni or Moretti. This one's quite nice. Hop House, that's quite nice. To be fair, I like them all. Kraken rum. It's ridiculous. I love Kraken. Kraken and Coke, folks. You've got to get on it. And gin-wise, Pinky's out, folks. Got to drink it with Pinky's out. I quite like the pink gin or the rhubarb and ginger. Controversial, isn't it? Drinking gin. How dare you? Right, Gary Upjohn, away, mate. Kevin Pilkington. Who do you think is the best match angler at the moment? I mean, obviously, the likes of Jamie Hughes, Andy Bennett, Andy Power. They're in a different league. Des Ship, though, and Will Raisin. For me, Will Raisin just ridiculous. Head and shoulders. Makes me sick. But obviously my mate Jamie and my mate Andy Bennett, they're ridiculous too. They're in a league of their own as well. There's quite a few of them. It's not fair. Anyway, right, Chris Wilson, advantage of painted top kits, mate. So we've just actually done a Winning Ways one on this, and To be honest, I don't think it makes a blind bit of difference. But if you think it does, then it's up there. It's going to transpire into your fishing, and you're going to get more from it. You're going to have more confidence. But reality is, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. It still casts a shadow. In fact, we proved it on our last challenge last week. I was fishing a white top kit, still casting the shadow, carp all over the place, not interested whatsoever. Jay goes in with a black top kit up, but Jay's better fishing than me, so it's irrelevant. No, it don't make a blind bit of difference. Right, Steve Ball, Thatcher's Haze. I don't know. What's Thatcher's Haze? Is that a ground bait? I know Thatcher's have done a mix, haven't they? Don't know, sorry mate. But yeah. Ben Cooper, hi, is there a big difference in the MAP 501 and 701, the price difference? Yes, quite a big difference, but to be fair, mate, the 501 is our best-selling pole by a million miles. So, well, 301, 401, but in particular the 501, they're our best-selling poles. At 13 metres, I probably fish with my 501 more than I do my 1001. It's just a fantastic bit of kit. You can throw it around. It's really strong. When you come to 16 metres though, mate, that's when you notice the difference. So if you've got to consider what kind of venues you're fishing, or what distances you're fishing more of. If you're fishing mainly between sort of 13 and 14 and a half, 501, don't think about any other pole. If you're fishing them, and obviously you're fishing quite a bit at 16, then 701. You've got to obviously get 2 or 3 more top kits with the 701 as well. But at 13, mate, and especially with them, the little F1 kits on that we do, you'll not notice a difference at all. You've got to try them. Go and try them both, and honestly, you'll not notice a difference. The only difference comes when you put the 16 metre section on. Waffling again, aren't I, folks? Sorry. Right, Mike Fenner. Have I said hello to you? Hiya, mate. Mark Sweeney. Why don't you fish some of the big natural river matches now then? Mark, it's just getting time, mate, honestly. So my coaching, I'll either be... So from Monday to Friday, it's usually 4 coachings, and then I'll be doing either something for Winning Ways or a magazine feature. And that's, as I say, it's 5 days a week from February right the way through till probably December, middle of December, and that's it. So I have sort of like middle of December up until end of January. I pretty much have that off. I do that, the odd feature, obviously, my venue detective. And it's just getting time. Obviously, I've got to think where the most money's coming from, if you like, and obviously that's going to come in the big commercial matches. Don't get me wrong, I love my natural venues and I do miss fishing them, but at the minute it's commercials, you know what I mean? So yeah, do miss naturals though. Robbie Burks, how are you, mate? Matt Barker, how's 12-inch Jim? I've not seen any posts for a while, mate. Come on, keep us updated. John Bond, how are you, mate? Craig Dunn, get me a discount on Map Accessories by Andy. How dare you? Just go straight to him. May see what I can do. Kyle Woodhouse, how are you, mate? Scott Poynton, Ian Brewer, Eddie Woodhead, hey up, mate? Si Jones, how are you, mate? Ian Christopher. Andy, when fishing margins, say 6 to 8 inch margins. That is shallow. Say 6 to 8 inches. How do you get the fish to take the hook rather than the freebies and swimming around the line and getting foul hook fish? Right, so again, have a look at the video we did, so myself and Jamie on Winning Ways from Larford, I think, last year, when he goes through his little light edge rig. It's ridiculous, proper eye-opening. But if the fish, they're not like, I'm not talking about Larford fish, if they're sort of like not as clever as Larford fish, and you sort of like getting them coming into, from deeper into that depth of water, then what I always used to do at the new pools, because that was exactly the same, the new pools at Cudmore, where you could get into like 4 or 5 inches, the carp would be coming in on the sides like that, from like 2 foot or something. I used to fish sort of like, say 18 inches in like 6 or 8 inches, with a big heavy float, like a 0.4 or 0.5 gram float, almost shot under my float, and then, you know, sort of like a good, well, 12 to 14 inches of line below it. But it's how you lay your rigging. So say the bottom's there, you're laying your rig in here and then lifting your float, your full float out, and then just sneaking it over so it's sat like that. So you can imagine your hook bait's coming down here. You don't want to feed your bait there, mate. Don't feed it in that shallow water. Feed your bait down here in the deeper water. So then they've got to come there. They don't think anything of it. And then you just pick them off that way. It's dead easy. But if you can see them in 6 or 8 inches, generally you can pick them out as well. But try that. Try going well over depth. Mike Hardman, mate, remember you. Great listening about your early days, especially those Northern Select times. Good days, yes they were, mate. I need a new landing net pole as mine is a bit old. What do you recommend for places like Partridge? Mike, honestly, mate, look no further. Depends what you want to spend, obviously, our parabolics or our dual. So the Mac Parabolics is a 4-metre one. Use it at 4 metres for like natural venues or winter fishing, mate. It's phenomenal. Now, I'm a nightmare for breaking handles, or I've been known to. I've never ever broke a parabolics. They're so strong. But if you just want a 3-metre one for like this time of year, the Map Dual, mate. They're sort of 55, 60 quid, I suppose. Send me a private message, mate, and if you're around Partridge, mate, I'm there a lot coaching at the minute, so by all means come and have a go with it, mate, so you can try before you buy, innit? Go on, Mike, great to speak to you, mate. Polly, legend, the best left-handed angler in the world. Just one of the best anglers in the world as well, isn't you? You make me sick as well, Polly. John Bull, Matthew Wells, how are you? Barry Walton, Jamvred Buggerin, how are you doing? Dave Cameron, how you doing? Wayne Dalton, no problem, mate. Brett Cooper, Steve Davenport, Tez Knowles, go on the Waglers, mate. I can't wait to try him. They look amazing. When I'm going to try him? I'm going to try him. I'm going to try him on Thursday, mate, so I'll let you know how we get on. John Bond, Ian Cotham, Steve Cox, love winning ways, mate. So funny, mate. We absolutely love doing them. It's nice when you're on the same wavelength as like 2 other people and we just get each other's humour, and sometimes I don't think Rich knows what to make of us, but we just generally have such a laugh, and you know, none of it's put on or anything like that. We just love doing what we're doing. We love catching fish. We love doing the challenges, and we love creating the content for you guys. It's just, you know, well, you can see it on the videos, you know. Obviously, Rich has got to do a bit of editing because the video's a bit long, but everything that like we speak or we say, it's all in there. You know, we do pretty much everything in one take, so he just leaves it in, Rich. You don't bother with it, and yeah, it's just phenomenal. And it's great watching someone like Jamie Fish picking up tips, because you just can't not learn off people like that. Makes me sick again. Jason Crook, away, mate. Cal Smith, Sam Mumby, go on the Viking. Matt Derry, away, mate. Graham Bryson, how do you keep your feed tight when throwing in loose feed? I feed about 5 swims. Mate, as I've said about 10 minutes ago, I've been doing that. I don't know what's up with my arm. It's gone off in a bit of a wonk at the minute. It proper hurts. I've got to sort of like... But no, there's a technique to it. Obviously, if you watch again some of our videos, I'll talk through it quite a bit in the Winning Ways videos. But what I mentioned before about the little Drenning catapults with the fine latex, they don't half group your feet together. So have a go with that. Other than that, it's hard to explain. You sort of like bring your hand back, but it's that... You're getting that, folks. It's like flicker the wrist at the end, and you sort of like, you want to grab your bait in these fingers here, like that. Pinky out, of course, like that. Looks a bit wrong, doesn't it, that? But there you go. Yeah, so just have a look at some of the videos that we've done. Like waffling on every one of them, don't I? I'm sorry. Paul Jones, do you ever hair rig bait when fishing in the margins with the pole? No. Pretty much bait straight in the hook, mate. So I love fishing sort of ground bait and a big bait over it, like a big worm head or a few worms, a bunch of maggots, punch meat, you know, double corn, something like that. Just a big standout bait over a pile of bait designed to draw fish in. I don't really like putting loads of particle bait in because I think you can just get too many fish, you know, coming in, getting too preoccupied on it. So it's best to... The trouble with ground bait is, though, obviously, the fish have wised up to it in a lot of venues, but now, obviously, with having quite a few weeks off, ground bait will start to work again, so just fish a big bait over it and don't air rig. You can air rig, but put them straight on the hook, mate. Them on like big dirty sort of Gamma Power 14s or 12s or a Kaizen, Guru Kaizen 14. Oh, mate, when they're on, don't come off. John Bond, if you were fishing for big F1s near snags, what elastic would you use? It's one of them, mate. Obviously, sometimes the harder you pull, the harder the fish wants to go the opposite way and swim into the snags. I remember having this conversation with Jamie on Herringbrook and the stick-ups. I qualified for Fish Show quite a few years ago, 2011 I think it was, and I've drawn one of the flyers, and probably the best peg on the whole complex to be fair, like 10 on canal at Herringbrook, and I've used old 28 mainline and old 25 hook length, and like stupid elastics, like solid 20s but tighten right up, and I've just like pulled every one of them out basically. But then Jay was saying he fishes a strong main line, but like a lighter hook length. So if they do get snarled up in the snags, you're not losing your whole rig and it's stiffer, so your rig's not tangling and they just snap you that way. But also using a light elastic. The trouble with like a heavy elastic, when you got a stride, they instantly dart off. So if you're using a light elastic and sort of like lifting into them, fish are like, oh, what's going on? And obviously F1s and big daft F1s, they just sort of like wobble back. You like my impression of an F1? Just sort of like wobble back, but you've got to make sure you net them first time. Otherwise, they'll go absolutely nuts. So try that. Try the fishing really heavy or really light. One of them, mate. Mike Hill, away, mate. Bag of me. Go on. Jakey Brown, away, mate. Dave White. Darren Bickerton. Go on, mate. Go on, the bagger. He's in the house. The bagger. He's the bad boy. At least I haven't got to try and beat you on Saturday, have we, mate? Already qualified, didn't you? He's the bad boy. John Neville. Tennis elbow. Do you think it is? Stop playing tennis in golf. Mate, I don't. I think it's all that, like, throwing over the ears and... I don't know what it is, but it hurts. It hurts when I net fish. You wait till you see me net fish again in the next episode of Winning Ways, folks. You're going to laugh. Dean Green, tennis elbow. Yeah, I know your pain. It does hurt. Proper. It's not tennis elbow. It's throwing a massive hand. Could be, Rob. Could very well be, mate. Alan Knight, is it tennis elbow? I had it and still got it. What do you do then? I've got one of these claspy things. It's up there. I can see it. Apologise, folks. Just spat everywhere there. I'm getting a bit excited, aren't I? Yeah, I've been sleeping with it on, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. To be fair, though, I did get advised to rest it, and I can't rest it because it's fishing, innit? It's had like 10 weeks rest, and it's still poorly. Dean Green, you can get it off. No, I'm not having an operation because that'll mean me missing out on fishing, but if it helps me in the long run, I suppose. I need to go and get it checked out proper, don't I, folks? Right, Matty Drinkwater. Me, Scotty Gollins. Matt Harrison, evening, mate. Do you ever get up Border, Bay Moulton? Yes, mate. Love Border. Absolutely love it. The Meridian Canal, obviously the Match Lake, Specie Lake. There's loads of them. I love it up there. I do odd bit of coaching up there. Not loads. I probably go sort of 4 or 5 times a year or something like that. But beautiful fishery. It's just immaculate, obviously. Carl in the cafe as well does one of the best breakfasts ever. And Stu will proper look after you. Yeah. Great club. Really recommend Bay Moulton, so get yourselves up there. Alex Glennon. Phil Reynolds. Go on, big boy. I get it from lifting 2 heavy tennis and golf. From 2 heavy tennis balls. You get it from lifting 2 heavy tennis ball and a golf elbow. So you reckon it's from weights then, mate? Because I've been known to lift like the odd weight, but not like as much as I'd throw casters in. I reckon it's from like netting fish. You know what I mean? When you're like really stretching, like F1's just like, no, I don't know. Ant Barnfield, how you doing, mate? Scott Gollins, what's your thoughts on Messingham Sands? Oh, mate, I love Messingham Sands. I wish it was closer. And that one next to it with all the gold fishing. Instant win, innit? Instant win. Grange summer. I've done a feature, that was amazing. But Messingham, yeah, I love Messingham. I fished a silvers match there on, I think, the South Lake or something like that, 30-odd pounder roach, and I did a official qualifier, I think 3 or 4 years ago when Stevie Cook won. I had 140-odd pound mug everything, but they were so ridiculously crazy. I think it was the snaggy one, Swan Lake or something like that. It had like islands in it, it was like gin clear and it was red hot, and I just like mugged everything inside. But they were so angry, folks. I think I fished over 25 that day, and they were still trying to find the snags. They're not like massive. They're like, yeah, some of them were massive. But yeah, lovely venue. I wish it were closer. Waffling again, aren't I? Need a drink, innit? Right. Graham Dixon, how are you, mate? Phil Scott. Ian Hevingham, ever floated the pole at Winsford? No. No, I've not, mate, because it's like it was proper commercially kind of method, that, wasn't it, back in the day? I remember when it first got banned at Morelands because everyone weighed like £1 million on it. If that's what you mean by floating pole. Might not be. Terry Shaw, Rob Hodgson. Phil, can you learn me how to play golf or golf, tennis or fishing shallow? Always replying to something. I do apologise, folks. I'm not very good with technology. Chris Simpson, go on, mate. I want to come and have a chuck with them big hybrids and breams over there. Where's my invite? Come on. Andrew Ardon, hi, mate. Stephen Bromfield, hi, mate. Steve Bull, cider. You know the schnizzle, mate. John Wharton. When would you use mini pellets as feed instead of micros? Are mini pellets not micros, mate? I thought mini pellets were micros. When would you use mini pellets as feed? And said, you mean, no, mini pellets are micros. I don't know. Do you mean like 3 milli pellets? I'd use them in the same way as micros, to be fair, or even mix them, 2 mil, 3 mil, or even 1 mil and 2 mil, or even 1 mil, 2 mil and 3 mil. Doesn't matter, mate. It's basically what the fish want at the end of the day. I think that's what you mean. I do apologise, John. I don't know. I thought mini pellets were micros. Little baby pellets, isn't there? Little balls of micros. Whoa, go on. Liam Killinger, away, mate. Stu Benson, go on. Kenny Brown. Mark Howlett, how many pints of caster do you have for a 5-hour match when you're shallow fishing? Mate, you need a pint an hour, obviously. Check fishery rules, though, folks, you know. A lot of fishers now, they're sensible, you know. It's good limits. You'll have like 8-pint limit usually. So for me, that's going to be a pint an hour of either maggots or casters. Usually a kilo of worms is on top of that. Then usually a kilo or 2 kilos of ground bait. And, you know, a pint of pellets is enough for a hell of a lot of venues. You're not near enough every venue unless you're shallow fishing. So for partridge, this Saturday, for example, I'll take my quota of casters. Well, not my quota, that's 8 pints. I'm not going to use that many. I have been known to. But I'll take like 5 pints of casters or maggots. I'll take probably a pint of 4 mil pellets, hard pellets. And then I'll do my ground bait. And I'll probably have some worms as well. Loads of bait. More bait than you could possibly shake a stick at. But when you're getting them fish competing, you've got to keep them there. And you can feed loads. I mean, on the new pools back in the day, I've fed, you know, sort of 18, 20 pints before now. I know it sounds daft and it's ridiculous amount of money if you look at it that way as well. But, you know, obviously back in them days when you were going for the Kamasan points. Waffling about Kamasan again, aren't I? You had to do it. It's one of them things. You had to spend a lot of money on it. If you didn't feed him, you wouldn't catch him. Simple as that. But obviously, it's nothing. You don't need to do that anymore. You know, a pint an hour is more than enough. But just check fishery rules. Phil Tarpley, away, mate. Mark Williams, go on, mate. Any info on Merlin's lane? Mate, I've never fished Hall Lane. Match this weekend, never fished it. Mark, I've never ever fished it. I do apologise, mate. If Bagger's still watching, he'll tell you because he wins everywhere, though, doesn't he? No, you make me sick. I think it's similar to Partridge, mate, but I couldn't tell you. Merlin's Lake, so it might be a big lake. I'm not even going to get involved because I don't know. Do apologise, mate. Tony Holdsworth, Arnie or Dorian Yates. Arnie's a legend. I've just read his book downstairs. He's like proper inspiring, just ridiculous bloke. Still going strong now, isn't he? With his little baby horse and everything in his house. Tony Goddard, go on, Big T. Billy Peacock, Darren Jagger. Mate, you and Jamie have been a godsend to my fishing. Thank you both and keep it up. Darren, you're more than welcome, mate. As I said, like, we absolutely love what we're doing. You know, long may it continue. Rich, you know, obviously he's the man behind the scenes pretty much, but he's got us where we are today, to be fair. Without Rich, we'd be no one. Obviously, you know, you'd still get us coming across mad as ever, but it's Rich does an absolutely fantastic job behind the scenes of editing and everything. And I was going to say keeps us sane, but to be fair, we're all pretty mad together, but we just absolutely love doing it, mate. So, long may it continue. Touch wood. Maybe have a little drink of beer as well. Joel Spate. How are you doing, Andy lad? Mate, I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Andy Jackson, mate! Proper. I remember you back in the day, and remember like Sparrow Grove and Tetton and Moston and where else did we go? All over the place, didn't we, mate? And we fished some nationals together as well, didn't we? I may or may not have had a drink with you back in the day when I was like 18, folks. How dare you? I wouldn't drink at 16 to 17. But yeah, Andy, great to hear from you, mate. Well, you've not said anything, but good to see that you're watching. Martin Green, how are you, mate? James Hall, go on, pal. Paul Sanderson, Mark Pierce, how you doing? Dave Duckin, hello. Daniel Gato, have I just said hello to you? Say hello to you again. Here's Big T. 21 challenge you and Jay did was a belter. 21-20. Oh, the blackjack one. You're worse than mate. Thanks for the videos every week. During the last few months, it's been brilliant. So, more than welcome, mate. Yeah, as I say, we absolutely love doing them, but you know what I'm like, mate. I'm absolutely horrendous at weighing up. Even with a clicker, I'm all right if it's sort of like... In fact, no. I was going to say I'm all right if it's big carp, but that first carp I had was probably £8 and it got like 5 clicks, and I missed 3 F1s and didn't click for them. Like, no, they're just going to sort of like vanish in my net and not make a difference. And then the best thing, I put the smallest fish in the world back. I got a little Thomas about sort of 6 or 8 ounce. I put him back, so I felt sorry for him. And yeah, if you've not seen it, folks, go and watch it. Proper laugh. We love doing them. Ian White, Rob Hodgson, Matt Parabolics, love them, mate. How good are these? Just ridiculous rods. Unbelievable. We've got some, well, may have some new ones coming. Who knows? But yeah, the black edition Parabolics, they're just, oh, unbelievable. I've lent Daddy May what have I lent him? The 12-foot Wagler, because he saw me using it the other day on the Arena Lake at Cudmore, and he's going tomorrow. And yeah, just can't wait to see what he thinks about them. Gary Walker, away mate. Steve Booker, do you ever use the cracking glass I gave you? But yes, I do, mate. I use it all the time. I've not got me cracking up here, mate. But yeah, thank you very much, Steve. Really appreciate that. Use it all the time, mate. No cracking left anymore, though. What's been your favourite challenge? I love the forest bait. It's from Darren Jagger. I love them all, mate. But I suppose the £5 supermarket bait one, that for me, I mean, I cheated a little bit. Because obviously, if none of you seen it, you've got to go and have a look at it. It was £5 to spend in a supermarket on baits that you wouldn't normally take fishing with you. So, no corn, no meat, no bread. So I took, what did I say, macaroni, prawns, and wheat or barley. Now, obviously, they are, I suppose, 3 baits that you would fish with, but you wouldn't necessarily take them all the time. Jay's like proper pulled it out. He's like got a bit of flour, then he's got bird feed pellets, he's got strawberry laces for worms, he's got boiled rice. But I wanted to win because I knew what I wanted to. I knew what I wanted to jump in. So I'm fed up with him jumping in all the time, winning everything. And just the expression on his face, and like I thought he was going to collapse. He was laughing that much. So I think that's my favourite one. We've done a few more, obviously, since over the last couple of weeks, and yeah, there's some good ones to come, folks. So keep your eyes peeled. Alex Sherwood, how much your coaching session? Mate, I'll private message you after. No problem at all, if I remember. In fact, let me write you down. Alex Sherwood. Pen and paper, innit? Pen and paper. I'll private message you after, mate. Philip Tiller, how are you, mate? Rob Hodgson. Funniest challenge was supermarket beer. Yeah, I've just said it, mate. Loved it. It was a bit cold, though, that water. I mean, it was end of September. And it was deep. I didn't realise it that deep because I didn't plumb it up. It was sort of like 8 or 9 foot deep or something. I couldn't touch the bottom. And yeah, proper hit me. And there was another bloke fishing on the lake as well that day, which was quite funny. Ben Pullen, what's the best line for Peleg Wagler? Oh, mate. Again, a lot of it's personal preference. I used to use, back in the day, Silstar. I used to absolutely love Silstar for my Wagler fishing. 0.18 and 0.20, but these days I use Map Optimum, or Optex is really good. There's a new one we just brought out which is Krill. Basically anything like that, mate. I suppose I used to be like really beat myself up and try and get the line floating, which it's important, but it doesn't bother me as much anymore, because a lot of the time, you know what it's like, folks, when you pellet Wagler fishing, as soon as that float and your pellet hits the water, you're getting that bite within sort of 10 to 15 seconds a lot of the time. More often than not, it's within the first 5 seconds. So I don't think sinking line, it's not a disadvantage anymore. It's really not. So yeah, just stick to what you think, but make sure it's robust enough. So by that I mean certainly no lighter than 0.16, ideally sort of like 0.18 to 0.22. What you've got to think about is the friction for your rod rings when you're casting. Obviously, depending on the size of the Wagler, but realistically, you don't want massive Waglers, because the whole point of your pellet Wagler fishing is to get them pellets comfortable where you can feed them through a catapult, rather than sort of like proper stretching in, like, you know, trying to get them miles. It's pointless doing that with a big heavy Wagler on. So I forgot what the question was now. I'm gonna have another drink. Oh, it's about lime, wasn't it? So yeah, that was personal preference, but anything from 0.18 to 0.22, I normally use like a 0.20 Map Optimum. Stu Lister, where's my stuff? Have you sent it? Cheers, mate. Andy Bolton, Will's got to be the best. Oh, mate, yeah, said that, definitely. Kev Forsyth, how are you, mate? Wayne Smith, hi, Andy, do you think Jamie Hughes is the best match fisherman? So, Jamie Hughes, Andy Bennett, Andy Power, them 3 for me. There's no one to touch them. In particular, Jamie and the bagger. But for doing everything, all round everything. Des Ship, and Will Raisin. Unbelievable. James Hughes, best match fisherman. I'll just answer it. Gary Brown, away, Gaz. You got any iPads? Kelvin Rutter, away, mate. Mike Barker, away. Greg Twemlow, come on, mate. I've not seen you for ages. How you doing, pal? Gaz Rogers is in the house. Congratulations on your full birth, mate. Can't wait to see you again. We're out. We'll be out next week, I think, or the week after. Pubs aren't open now, mate. We're gonna. You bring the snacks. I'll provide the berets. Away, guys. Sean Frogger, any plans to take the Venue Detective over to Match Fishing magazine? Sean, I'd love to, mate. Yeah, that'd be really good. Because obviously I love my rod and line fishing. I love pole fishing as well, like. But yeah, that'd be really good, mate. If it happens, who knows what's going to happen in the future, mate. Ollie Flindall, what do you do to pick out the bigger F1s and carp when fishing Cassia? Mate, just pick whatever comes along. That's what you're catching. Simple as that. Generally, it's going to be all about depths. The bigger fish tend to back off your feed a little bit. And what I mean by that is if you've got the feed constantly going into one area, if you try a section a little bit past it or a bit to the left, bit to the right or a little bit deeper, then generally you'll pick off bigger fish. But, mate, when you're getting them fish competing, just catch what's in front of you. Unless it's like little tiny things like that, you know, little SHIT fish, you know, silvers and what have you, then you've got to do things then. But if you're catching F1s and carp, stick with it, mate. And then the big ones will turn up anyway because they bully the little ones out of the way. Paul State, how are you, mate? Not seen you for a bit either. You had a good do last time, didn't we? Dominic Stones, away, mate. Dean Higgs, hello. Darren Styles, away, mate. MTX4 or map equivalent? Map equivalent, mate. How dare you even ask? So, what's equivalent to the MTX4? I suppose it'll be either be the 801 or the 901. Honestly, mate, just go and have a look in the tackle shop. Advise this just before, and just see for yourself, mate. That's the best thing. Obviously, we can all give advice. We're all, you know, us sponsored anglers. We all give advice. I'll always say, you know, map products are better than anything else. Just go and have a look for yourself, mate. Basically, but map. Martin Ferryday, do you think a blind fishing challenge? Yeah, I've seen this, mate. I've seen a few in it. Would be good for YouTube for a laugh. Yeah, I think it'd be good. As long as you're allowed to, obviously, take our blindfold off to maybe bait up and certainly unhook the fish. I reckon that'd be really interesting. I'd just BB it in a hook length. You definitely know you got one on then. I'd probably like lose where I'd unshipped or something and end up breaking something. Or just like run out of feed completely, to be fair. But yeah, no, I like the idea of that. Matt Higgins, away, mate. Smashed me up the other year, you did. Paul Smith, hello. Stephen Edwards, any tips catching carp in deep water on the pole with pellets, e.g. feeding to keep them down? Catching carp, deep water on the pole with pellets. Why would you want to keep them down, mate? Just get them. If you can try and get them as shallow as possible, you get them competing a lot better then. The trouble with having them too deep, mate, especially carp, the big surface area, big wobbly units, you're going to get loads of lines and far lookers. So try and get them competing by reducing the feed amount, not their frequency, and just get them to come up deeper. If they don't want to come up deeper, then just fish a really light strung out rig, you know, sort of like a 410s, 412s, big thick bristle on, and shot it with like strung out number 11s or 10s. But I can't see him not wanting to come like shallow as you can get them competing, to be fair, mate. Now to Hiscock, that's not tennis elbow. Cheeky. Paul State, hiya, mate, hope you're good. Get on the hide, you knows the snizzle, mate. Love the hide. Second best fish in the world, isn't there? Fold your arms in bed. Yeah, but I do that and then I get like pins and needles and it hurts even more. Hop house. Gary Beebe is watching. Jay's in the house. Go on, Jay, lad. How are you, mate? Love you. Miss you. Are you going to tell me what to do on Saturday, please, Jay? Because I haven't got a clue. I bet you're well impressed that I know what I'm doing on this and now, don't you? Mate. On it, boy. Legend, that lad is. Ant Parks. How are you, mate? Didn't know where you remember. I go, oh, I think he's answered someone else. Andrew! That's from Jamie. Go on, lad. Tony Barber, Paul Smith, even Andy ready for Thursday. What's happening on Thursday? Are we out on Thursday? I do apologise, mate. Of course I'm not forgot. Yeah, I'm ready for it. I don't know where we're going to go, though, because all the lakes are fishing really well. I reckon we might go and snare some big carps or something like that. Unless you want to go on a Snake Lake. We can decide, can't we, mate? Yeah, looking forward to it, mate. Proper. Derek Brook. Where's the best breakfast? Oh, mate. So, you knows what I'm like, Derek. Not anymore, though. You know what I mean? Sleek and slender. But best breakfast. There's loads of them, folks. Partridge is amazing. Docklow Pools is probably got to be right up there for me, though. Docklow Pools, his breakfast and hospitality is just amazing. So I'm going to say Docklow. But I've had loads of breakfasts all over the place. But Docklow's one that's like really sort of springing out, folks. So Docklow is. Gary Boothby, what would you say a good poll for my boys as they have started fishing, don't want to spend too much to start with? Mate, there's so many like good starter poles out there. Definitely have a look at sort of like the Map 101. But if you don't want to spend that much money, go down a margin pole route. You know, there's so many good margin poles, sort of like 8 to 10 meters now. Have a look at our M10 or M20. You know, for the money, you get a couple of top kits with them, and you can like proper throw them around a bit. So just have a look at the margin poles, mate. You'll not go far wrong with them whatsoever. So that's Map M10 or Map M20, or even the M600 that we just brought out as well. Awesome poles. But again, go and have a look in your tackle shops first, mate. Right, Ian Sadler. Away, mate. Finley Tanner. Go on. What would be the best bait for short pole? Mate, how long have we been doing this now, folks? It's 7:05. I was only supposed to stay on for an hour, but I'm going to answer some more questions. Of course I am, because I'm that kind of guy. I've got itchy eye, though. Best bait for short pole? Mate, completely depends what you're fishing for. This time of year, I'd say hard pellets. You know, proper Jamie style. 4mm, 6mm hard pellets is awesome. But, you know, if it's like shallow short pole fishing, then obviously maggots and casters. Depends what you're after. Sorry, mate. Not really out much, have I? I do try, though. And parts, even Andy, wouldn't mind a coaching session one time so you can pick my bad habits. That's what Jay does to me all the time, folks. Andrew, what are you doing? When I get called Andrew, I know I've definitely done something wrong. And I don't think he's ever called me Andy. He might have called me Andy once back in 2001. And it's been Andrew ever since. Just private message me, mate. Coaching session, just private message me. And I'll get back to you. Volter, Lee Butler. Go on, the Oldham Athletic fan. Are you the only one? Are you the only other one than me? Must be. Volteron gel. Let me write that down. Volteron. I assume this is for my arm. Voltaren gel. Right, I'm going to get on it. Cheers, Lee. Wayne Dalton. I get the same pain from tricep extension and bicep curls over extending the arms. Am I not doing technique right? I need Big Phil to tell me. Phil, tell me if I'm doing technique right. Phil Weldon, come on, tell me. Darren Millish is watching. Where's my Mars bars? I've not seen you for ages, mate. Where's my Mars bars? How you doing, mate? Tony Barber, in a pinched nerve in your elbow. I don't know, it's sort of like, yeah, all over it. I don't know what's. I need to go to doctors, don't I? Andy Wilkes, go on, mate. Right, Matt Harrison, your elbow will be repetitive strain injury from flicking out casters and maggot. That's what I was thinking, to be fair, mate. Yeah, I like that. Adam Stewart, go on, mate. Stu Benson, great stuff, Andy. Love the videos and humour is spot on. Got to have a laugh, mate, ain't you? Cheers, Stu. Chris Potts, cheers for the photo at Old Off Fisheries on Muddy End. Yes, mate, was that you? Your good self and Jamie. Mate, you're absolutely more than welcome. And, you know, as Chris has said there, you know, if you do see me, Jay, Rich out and about, just come over and, you know, have a chat with us. You know, it's one of them, you know. We'll talk to anyone. We're not standoffish whatsoever. You see in the videos, that's what you get. You know what I mean? So come and have a word with us. But great to see you, Chris. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And you caught more than us. You make me sick, you do. Neil Postle away, mate. Rob Hodgson, up the tip. Go on, up the tip, lad. Andy Hilton, what's your opinion on hybrid elastic? Mate, obviously, I've personally never used it. I've only seen when Jay's been using it. Obviously, he's slick. It looks really good. Proper stretchy, so I think that'd take me a lot to get used to, as I think it did with Jamie. But, yeah, no, it looks bang on, to be fair. So, yeah, I'll probably have a go with it. Mick Archer, away, mate. Graham Sainer, away, mate. Ben Cook. Mate, challenge video was class. Thank you very much, Ben. Really appreciate that, mate. Like the stuff that you're doing too, mate. Really good. It's just brilliant to be doing it, isn't it, mate? So, every little helps. But yeah, thanks very much, pal. Chris James, how are you, mate? Stu Nabby Winder. Hello, Dave Butler. Hello, mate. Stu Sellers, Dan Batch, Paul Blowers, Andy Ormroad, Carl Durant, Lee Beattie, Mick Monroe. What's the 1001 handle like, mate? It's ridiculous. It's so light and strong. But I wouldn't use it necessarily for this time of year fishing. You know, when you need them sort of like stiff handles for like scooping fish. I wouldn't necessarily use it for this time of year, but oh my God, for like winter fishing or all your natural work. It'll do for all your natural work. It's ridiculous. It needs to be seen to be believed, folks. It's on another level. It really is. Ian Christopher, winning ways is the best thing to watch since Passion for... Oh, thank you very much. And John... No, nothing beats John Wilson. Absolutely nothing beats John Wilson. And Passion for Angling, proper love that. But Ian, that's so kind of you. Thank you very much, mate. You know, as I said time and time again, myself, Jamie and Rich, we absolutely love doing these videos for you and these challenges. And yeah, long may it continue. Cheers, pal. Agent Harris, how are you, mate? David Westcott, well said, Foggy. What did Foggy say? I forgot what he said. Here we go. Darren Gilman, Andy Lawton, Bronson Arm. How are you? How you doing? Andy Dorks. How much? Andy, private message me later on, mate, and I'll get back to you. Not a problem at all. Barry Armisen, Mickey Rogerson. Yes, another draw bag, did bad boy. You're going to draw a flyer and all, aren't you, mate, on Saturday if you're fishing it. Mate, Mickey Rogerson. Go on, lad. Not seen you for a while. Hope your dad's all right, mate, by the way. Ian Brown. Go on, Ian. Johnny Jenkins. Jim Alden. I've just got Jim Alden. Jim, private message me, mate, about a private session. Not a problem at all. I'll get back to you, pal. Frank Perkins. I keep getting the same one coming up. Stevie Cook. Go on, Steve. How are you, mate? I've not seen you for a while, pal. Craig Ebrel too. Go on, lad. Ease. Big Craig's in the house. Mate, love the video with your lad the other day. That was mint, that. That's what it's all about, man. Innit? So good. Wayne Smith, will you PM me, Andy? Right, Wayne Smith. Wayne Smith. Yep. A private message here shortly, mate. Not a problem. Thank you very much. Dean Elsmore. Finley Time. John Shawcross, Tony Rathmill, Mark Holden, Andrew Gosden, Rich Slater, Kev Deb. Andy, you're pretty loyal to Map. Have you been approached by other companies? Yes, mate. Yeah. You know, it's obviously I love Map through and through. I've been with them probably 11 years now. I think I've been with Map. But yeah, I've been approached. But at the moment, you know, I used to say what's going to happen in the future. But at the moment, I absolutely love being with MAP and Dynamite Baits. Fantastic sponsors. Couldn't do what we're doing without them. So thank you very much. Martin Faraday, when fishing shallow, I like fishing shallow. We've got a shallow question, right? When fishing shallow, roughly how often would you change your hook as some go dull and you bump a few? Or what's the best hook for up in the water? Mate, yeah, so I think more than changing the hook, so if you're banding baits, you'll not tell when the hook's gone blunt, really, other than when you are pulling out of a few fish or, you know, you hook something. But then that could be far looking. So obviously, yeah, change your hook. Now for shallow fishing with banded baits, I'll use Gamma Power Carp. They're amazing hooks. In an 18 or a 16. For fishing pellet Wagler, I use the Kamasan B911 extra strong in a 12 or a 14. Now for bait straight on a hook, it's pretty much all Guru I'll use. I'll use Kaizen, or I don't know if it's SLWG or F1 pellet are good as well for silvers, you know, in a big hook. But definitely you'll tell when you go to put that hook into a bait, if there's any resistance whatsoever, you know to change it straight away because it's gone blunt. But when you're hair rigging, you never really tell. So just change it if you're bumping a few. But yeah, don't do it straight away, you know, leave it 2 or 3 times, but just check it's not foul looking fish. If you've got loads of slime up your line and this, that and the other, then generally you'll be foul looking fish. So change your depths more than anything, or, you know, adopt your feeding strategy to suit. Do you like that then? Adopt your feeding strategy to suit. Write it down here. Jamie told me that.
Steve Ridgewell, how you doing? Alan Clancy, Dave Cameron. Paste. Dave, really? I'm just going to fast forward yours. How about a paste only shallow? Fast forwarding it, mate. John Copper, Docklow for everything. Yes, you know the schnizzle, mate. Love Docklow. Richo! Go on, Si Richardson. Mate, I've not seen you for ages. I'm loving your test, by the way, in lockdown. Your lockdown test. Got some guns on you, ain't you, mate? Miss you, mate. Colin Tipton, Ewan Lowther, Thomas Moe, Martin Fulton, how you all doing, boys? Nathan Watson. Go on, Nath. How are you, mate? Going to catch up with you soon, aren't you, mate? On some official qualifiers. Reese Turner. Map 5013G. Good choice for proper carp fishing. Yes, awesome, mate. Is that like, are you saying it's good, or are you asking me if it's good? I don't know if you got one. Reese, if you've not got one, you've got to check it out, mate. As I say, it's our best-selling pole by a million miles, so check it out. But if you've got one, proper choice, mate. Mark Jones, go on, Mark. Mike McCabe, how are you doing, pal? Not seen you for a bit, mate. Mark Hawthorne, Gary Mitchell, Andy Turner. Best tips for new venues. And so, the main thing for new venues is do as much homework as you can for that particular venue. You know, don't go to a venue blind. You know, try and find out as much as you can. Ring the fishery, have a look at results, find out what baits are working, where they're catching fish. And that's pretty much what I do if it was a brand new venue. To be fair, I've got some amazing contacts. I'll just ring them up. But obviously, fishery owners will tell you what's going on. Then if you do have some like friends or what have you who are fishing these venues, then just ask them. Don't go into a venue blind. That's Voltarol MU. Oh, has he said it wrong? What have I got? Voltaren. What is it? Voltarol. I've heard of Voltarol. Oh, I know that. I remember that. Cheers, Ron. Thank you very much, mate. Stephen Carr, Dave Calburn. How are you, mate? Not seen you for a while. What connector do you use for shallow fishing, mate? Have we not been through this? I'm sure I've shown you, Dave. But if not, I do apologise. So, I've changed. I used to use Dacrons, Dave, but I use Bagger put us onto these beads, you know, a couple of years. Well, he's been doing them for years. Makes me sick. The only trouble with it, it does wear through your elastic quite quickly. So make sure it's nice and pingy. As long as you've got a side puller, it's not a problem. But the little guru beads, I think Drennan used to do some like swivel beads that would work just as well. But the small or the medium Drennan Dacron connectors, get rid of the Dacron and then just put the bead on your line. So your lines. Have a look at the video I've done on lockdown, Dave. It's all in there. I think I'm wearing a Darth Vader mask. Have a look at that, mate. It's on Winning Ways site. Derek Garner, thanks for the coaching, mate. More than welcome. I hope we caught a few. Jason Weston. Hi, Andy. My arms were the same after weighing in all of pool one at the Glebe in the social distancing match. I wasn't got the weighing in down to a T now. Go on, mate. Sounds good. I wish I could fish the Glebe more often. John Tompkinson, how you doing? Si Ailes, go on, mate. Steve Ridgewell, learn loads from you and Jamie as well. Just me, mate. Come on. And laugh. Spoke to Jamie a couple of times. Both two guys. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, love doing what we're doing, mate. So yeah, long may it continue. Alan Sandom, think these sessions are great. Thank you very much, mate. Run out of beer though. Martin Cook, away, mate. Liam Dennett, go on, mate. Michael Endicott, hello. Denby Charles, love your videos. Winning Ways, the main reason why I got back into fishing. Awesome, mate. What tips would you give to a new person on the Method hybrid feeder? So Method hybrid feeder. I mean, to be fair, mate, I've not used the Method for probably 3 years now. The hybrid is so easy. Just this time of year, we in micros, completely just, you don't want loads, pint and a half, something like that to start with. Completely soak them for, let's say 4 minutes. So Scretton's micros, soak them for 4 minutes, drain all the water off, and then leave them for sort of like another 10 or 15 minutes. Now with a hybrid, you can just sort of like plug it, put your hook bait in and plug it again. Hook lengthwise, get the Guru pre-tied ones, they're awesome. You want QM1 size 14s or 12s with either a bayonet or a band on, it doesn't matter. To be fair, it doesn't really matter what bait you use. As I said, Jay's proved it loads of times. You just chucked a Method in and they've taken a bare hook length. But make sure, some anglers are different, but I like to have one sort of 3 to 5 inches long or something like that. Cheeky. I think I think the packet ones are about 4 inches. There might be 6, but I'm pretty sure they're 4, the method ones. So just straight out of the packet, put that on, put whatever bait you want on. A little tiny bit in the hybrid first. Get your hook bait, fold it over into it, make a little indentation, fold it over into it. Another little layer of micros on top, chuck it in. But don't leave it that long, mate. It's got to land with a nice plop. So, like, what I mean by that is you don't want to sort of, like, crash into the water because all your baits come off. You sort of, like, want to cast it, feather your rod back, and then lower the bait in. So you're getting it landing with a nice plop. And you know it's landed right when you get that column of water coming off behind it and then falling back down. And you want to leave it for a maximum of 5 minutes, really, mate. You've got to keep that bait going in this time of year. So, waffled again on that. But yeah, get on that. Hybrids and pre-tied up lengths. Love a pre-tied up length. Steve Ridgewell, Cash Shelley, you know's a snizzle, mate. Andy Johnston away, mate. And Christopher, get the bagger on winning ways video. I would love to, mate, but he's always too busy and he just shows up and then you just want to see bagger all the time. So we're not doing it, Ian. We're not getting the bagger on. I think Jay did one on him and Paul Owens one once and he went and won the match. Bit good though, Jay, ain't he? So's Bagger. Bagger's a bit good. Yeah, we'd love to get him on, but maybe over the winter or something when we're all a little bit less quiet, we'll do something together. It'd be amazing to get someone like Andy Bennett's ability on. But as I say, just, well, them pair between, imagine him showing me up, so I'd be out of a job. So no, we're not getting him on. Ricky Ellsworth away, mate. Gary Gilbert, go on, John Harvey, lad. Hope to see you on some qualifiers soon, mate. Miss you. Lee Robson, I wish I went for the 3G instead of, not going for that one. Bit controversial. But yeah, 501, mate. You know the snizzle. Barry Millard, how are you, mate? Sean Frogger, have you tried it? I've just done this one. Have you tried sleeping your elastic when tying the rig? Have I tried sleeping with me elastic? No. How dare you? Darren Mountains, go on, mate. Lee Myers, hey up. Yeah, go on, Lee. How are you, mate? Duncan Pimlet, short top kit, just fishing shallow. No, not at all, mate. So by shallow, if you mean shallow, like shallow in deep water, they're awesome for that, but they're amazing for snake lakes, you know, the likes of Partridge, where they're only sort of 13 metres, sometimes even less, sometimes 10 or 11 metres. And for like that mudline fishing, when you're getting them fast bites off carp and the F1s, they're amazing for that. And they're good for like, when you hook into them, you just ship back in one pull and generally the fish is there for you. So not just for shallow fishing, which they are amazing, but for shallow fishing in shallow water on the bottom, if that makes sense. What time am I? Right, I'll do till 7:30, folks, if that's all right. I'll try and get through. If any of you got, you know, a few more questions, I don't mind obviously answering them, so just private message me if you want. But I've not had my tea yet and my beer's run out. All right, Martin Faulkner, what's your Chris? Oh, that's not to me, sorry. Les Powell away, mate. Steve Ellis, Graham Brown, not seen you for a while, pal. That cat shot, that's when you had on at Border, wasn't it, mate? That's on the Meridian when we caught them goldfish. Go on, mate. How you doing? Not seen you for a while, mate. James Smithson, Dave Hayes, Lee Hughes. Nelly! Go on, Nelly! Nelly's in the house, mate. I'm going to give you a ring tomorrow, and I promise I won't forget. Not like I remembered with your meat cutter. I didn't forget your meat cutter, did I? But no, I'll be in touch tomorrow, mate, to get them pegs for me on Kobe 5, please. Love you. Miss you. Can't wait. Oh, no, we can't do big bear hugs, can we? It's sort of like going to be like a virtual one and like virtual high five. Miss you. Miss all of you at Partridge and waffling, aren't I? I'll see you on Wednesday, Nelly. Ryan Harding. Andy, what's your view on a 401 3G? Mate, I've said before, so the 3, 4 and the 501, in particular the 501 are our best-selling pole. So the 401, awesome, at 13 metres. Certainly with a short kit on, but even with a normal, traditional kit on, you don't really notice a difference between like some at twice the price again of it. The only difference would be, what I'd say, if you're not doing much fishing, past 14.5, 401's for you. If you're going to 16 every now and again, have a look at the 501, but have a look at the 301. If you're not going past 14.5, but you're doing more at 13, have a look at the 301 as well, mate. Honestly, them poles are phenomenal. Check it out, boy! No, you're welcome, mate. I can't remember what the question was. I do apologise, but you're welcome. Paul Richardson, Raymond Packham, Dean Thought. I do need an MOT, mate. Oh, sleeving your elastic. What did I say? Sleeping with your elastic? Yeah, sleep. No, I've never done it, mate. Obviously, Des Ship's mad for it, but I've never done it because it looks a bit complicated. I don't like complicating myself. Get shouted at for that. Craig Whiskey Walker, how are you, mate? Keith Green, Gary Mitchell. Out of curiosity, when you're doing your coaching days, what's the number one thing that a lot of people get wrong? Mate, I like that, Gary. Usually, the box, just setting up the box completely wrong. It's either miles too high on a bit of a slant, or bait trays on the wrong side, the pole socks on the wrong side, rollers aren't set up right. I mean, there's loads, but usually it's the box. It's all down to the box. If you can get nice and comfy, everything to hand around you, you'll not have a problem whatsoever. Obviously, they're not little things, they're massive, but feeding and presentation are the main things that people struggle with, and that's what most of my coaching revolves around. But yeah, just simple things like getting your rollers right, getting set up right, elastic, everything comes under it. But yeah, boxes, mate. Waffling, aren't they? Waffling. Andy Amos, go on, and smash me up. You did it, old off, didn't you? Hate you. Don't really, mate. But no, fair play. Smash me up. Ron Titterton, PM me and I will send you a tube. Oh, go on, mate. I am then. I'll get some of that gel. Ron Titterton, hang on. Ron Titterton. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. What time are we on? 5 minutes, folks. 5 minutes. I'm going for my tea and maybe another beer. Right. Phil Ross. Never forget when I'm not going to read it out, mate. He's put, never forget when I beat you on next peg at Cudmore Suez on a festival years ago, but loved it. I might have forgot that event ever happened until you just brought it up, Phil. No, joking apart, mate. Well done. I can't remember it, mate. I think is that when you caught a load on maggots? When you caught a load on maggots, you like big potted across? Or was that the guy who's next to you? So it was like, the guy who was next to you caught a load on white maggots, then it was you, and then it was me. When I tried to snare him down the middle, but I couldn't catch any. Let me know, mate. Well done, anyway. Duncan Pimlet, more than welcome, mate. Rob Stark, Mark Hall, Tom Glaves, Callum Robb. What's the best type of float for slapping, Andy? Cheeky! Love the 501-3D. Yeah, mate, they're awesome, Paul. Best float for slapping? Honestly, there's loads out there. I'm using some floats made for me by a lovely bloke called Nathan Lum. He can be contacted on Facebook. He's from Blackpool. He's doing all my floats at the minute. If you see the blue floats I'm using, they're awesome. Because we're designing some. Well, we've designed them, so we're just there's a bit of a lead time on them coming out yet. So, but for slapping, you want either like the big P ones that take sort of 414s or 0.4s, or like a muddy float or something like that. Yeah, I've just spat all over everyone. I do apologise. Like a muddy float, but put all your shots underneath it, like your 6, 7, or 8 number 8s, and just give it a big one like that if you really want to slap hard. If not, then check out in MAP. They were the SF2s, the best shallow float in the absolute world. They're amazing, and Nathan's like done pretty much a copy of them, and they're awesome. So you've got to check them out, folks. Dave Colbert, I've just answered that, mate. Lee Myers, best way to tame angry carps, not spring fed, not clear water. Just pull, mate. I thought you were going to show me one of these days, aren't you? We'll get the match on, mate. Don't you worry. I might send a replacement in Jamie to come and smash you up, though. But yeah, just keep pulling, innit? Just keep pulling, mate. Kurt Cardwell, have you got a spare 501 2D6 section lying around it? I'm not sorry, mate. Daddy May's probably got one, though. No, I'm not sorry, mate. Nathan Lom, go on, Nath, he's in the house. Badoosh. Proper floats, pal. Yeah. Can't wait to try them, mate. Can't wait to try them new ones. Shh, don't tell anyone, no. Just make them for me and no one else, alright? Tom Baker, go on, lad. Can't wait to wear that again, mate. James Bonneville, what do you with carp feeding shallow? What do you do with carp feeding shallow? On meat? Pooh, get the meat, I'll put pellet on, mate. But disappear when a pole... Hang on, right, let me answer it. What do you with carp feeding shallow on meat, but disappear when a pole goes over them with the longer lashes? I think, is it like when you're going to mug a fish with meat on? Yeah, so have a look at the last Winning Ways we did. Jamie goes in this. In fact, I don't think it's out yet. And he goes about how to mug fish. You've got to sort of like keep your pole in front of the fish. So if your shadow's on the water there and the fish is swimming that way, you've got to keep your pole this side of it, so you're swinging into it. You don't want to come behind over the top of the fish. I think that's what he said anyway, I can't remember. But have a look at that video, mate. Dave Powell, how are you, mate? Ian Edwards, go on, lad. Oh, shot call. Love to the family, love to you too, mate. Miss you. Where's my barbecue invite? Tom Glaves, go on, Tom, lad. Big unit. Andy, you need to try Springvale Fisheries for hide bashing up. Mate, I remember you saying about that last time. I can't wait to come and have a ding-dang diddlers at that. I've got a few new venues I want to try for my venue detectives this year. And that's definitely one of them. £3.5 hides. Second best fish in the world. You know the score, mate. I'm going to come and have a ding-dang diddlers at them. Callum Robb, you're welcome, mate. Mark Parker. Mate, when are we going out? Miss you. Love you, Mark. Proper miss you. Just want to go out fishing with you. Get in touch with me, mate. Come on. Please. Joe Darby away, mate. Darren Hudson. Go on. Andy Townsend. Would you feed in the first hour? All my feed would go in the first hour. What would I feed? I don't know. Would you feed in the first hour? Yes. I love feeding, mate. Feeding's the best thing in the world. Feeding's like drinking and used to be eating. Sorry for asking question twice. Wife walked in. Miss your answer. Mark Parker. Also, I'm at the end of him. I can't scroll up anymore. It must mean I'm at the end. Mark Parker, 2 big hearts. However you do it. I don't know how you do it. You know the schnizzle, mate. Anyway, folks, so with that being 7:30, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your questions. I think I've answered as many as I've been given. I don't think I've got any more coming through. So, yeah. Thanks to Clive for inviting me once again, and hope you've enjoyed it. Keep watching Winning Ways. You know, myself, Jamie and Rich, we love doing it. And yeah, so fantastic that we can get back out fishing matches and just fishing in general. So thank you very much, folks. I'm going to go and have my tea now. Love you all. Thank you.